We help organisations and companies develop positive cultures for our increasingly digital world. We do have a website, we do have a Twitter feed as well, so we're not anti-tech. It's important I say this before you hear what I'm about to say. But digital doesn't need to be toxic, but too often it is. So we do urge people to use our digital properties obviously responsibly. So there we are. So what I want to show you today, though, is how to be more productive. I want to show you how to be more creative. And this, I think, is the clincher for this evening. I'm going to show you within these next 15 minutes how to be better looking. So bear with me here. So look at this good-looking bunch. They have just been on a digital detoxing adventure. We lead adventures. We take people away for a week, 3 days, or whatever it might be, various parts of the world. This is in Norfolk, very exotic, and they all benefit hugely from this experience. They talk about it as being like a deep breath of fresh air. So I just want to give you a small flavour of a digital detoxing experience. So please, can you get out your mobile phones? I know, I'm asking for audience participation here. Please turn them off, if you haven't done so already, of course. And please hand them to the person on your left. Who's comfortable doing this? There's some very uncomfortable looking people in this room. Are you uncomfortable up there? No? I saw that. So, my question to you all is, how do you feel about that? Do you feel about a bit like Aaron Ralston? Aaron Ralston is a guy who went cycling in Arizona, or in the desert somewhere, fell in a canyon, got his arm trapped behind a rock and had to chop it off to get free. Film and book called 127 Hours. But a lot of people who give up their phones when we take them away on adventures feel like they've had to chop their hand off. You know, they get phantom ringing syndrome in their pocket, even though they haven't got a phone anymore. It's a bit like phantom limb syndrome, I suppose. So our phones have become an extension of ourselves, an extension of our bodies in a way. We've become so reliant on them for everything that it can feel a bit like you're having to lop a limb off. It's good to see people still exchanging photos. Are you cheating? Okay, I'm watching you. So it can feel like, so what's going on? Some research this year shows that the average number of times in a day that people are touching their phone is 2,617 times touching their phone. So that's quite a lot, isn't it? And it's happening also between 12 o'clock midnight and 5 a.m. quite a lot. So I don't know if you fall in that category, but Deloitte also this year produced their global mobile consumer survey, which says we've reached peak smartphone, by the way, but it says that about 1 in 3 people are responding to emails between midnight and 5 a.m. Is anyone guilty of sending emails between midnight and 5 a.m.? Anyone here like to confess? We have. Right. Noted. Well, 87% of participants in the research confessed to touching their phone between midnight and 5 a.m. 87%. So I don't think we've got full confession going on here, but it's okay. It's okay. So presumably this is making us much more productive, yeah? Must be. Evidence would suggest otherwise. Apparently we're at the lowest ever level of productivity in the UK since records began. I'm not saying that mobile phones is entirely responsible for that, I hasten to add, but it certainly doesn't seem to be changing the tide. In terms of mental well-being, there's a lot of evidence that, particularly amongst younger groups of people, social media isn't causing great happiness when they go through Facebook feeds and things like that. Actually, it's having the reverse effect. And you may be wondering what the crocodile eye is for. This is a discovery that crocodiles have this ability, when they go to sleep, not to shut their whole brain down. It's called hemispheric sleep. Unihemispheric sleep, I think it's called that actually. So half the brain goes to sleep, half it awake at all times. And this is apparently the state in which we pretty much work, by the way. For 50% of our working day, our mind is wandering from what we're supposed to be doing, according to research by Harvard University. So effectively, we're all living unihemispheric lives, sort of constant partial attention. So it doesn't seem to be causing better productivity and creativity, etc. There's also some strange things happening. Apparently this is a street in China where they've created a special pavement lane for people with cell phones because they're worried about them bumping into each other and that people are being injured, it's causing trouble. So they create a special lane for them. In Japan, they recently ran a campaign big advertising campaign to stop people walking into lampposts while they're looking at their smartphones. And more people were killed by selfies last year than sharks. So are we turning into a world of zombies? Is that what happens to us? Is that, we're just going, walking along like this? Like zombies? Well, certainly, I'm sure you've dodged a few today as you walk down the street of people who just, are not looking what they're doing. So are our brains fundamentally changing? So obviously our behaviour is, but are our brains changing? Well, we've been around, you could say, 5-6 million years as organisms, probably as human beings more like 200,000 years as we'd recognise them. So smartphones have been around for 20 years. So our brains clearly haven't had a chance to evolve to cope with some of this new pressures going on in us. So that hasn't happened. So what we're finding is we've got the same sort of response mechanisms, basically, that we've always had. So for instance, one of the main behavioural biases we have is responding to new information. It could be something we can eat, or something might eat us. So we're very tuned to the latest information. We need to respond to it. If you get an unanswered email, it reduces your IQ significantly if you know it's there and you haven't answered it, because you're so distracted by the thought of what could it be. That's why people look at it when they're driving, even though it could literally kill them answering that email. So we seem to have this behaviour that's really... Sorry, I can't be at your talk tonight. I'm having a fabulous time in Slovenia winning cocktails. # don't you wish you were here? I suppose I do. I suppose we'd want to be there, wouldn't we? So newer information. Somehow this can interrupt, and it takes about 20 minutes to refocus on a task, by the way. And creativity. We need lengths of uninterrupted time to be creative. And hang on. You need a picture of a dog in your talk, then it will go viral. Is this true? I don't know, but it could be a thing. So it's not going to help with, what? Do we agree? Seems to work. Okay, I give up. Obviously that is the right thing to do, but it's very much finding it hard to be creative, hard to be productive in this environment. So why is this happening? Well, this is a quote from Michael Gilbert, a senior fellow at the Centre of Digital Future. He says, "We daily test the frontiers of cyberspace, but we are cavemen and cavewomen at the keyboards. Yet the motivational implications of our natural history, the neural and genetic hard drives powering so much of consumer behaviour, go largely unexplored." So I'm interested in exploring that about what are the rules of engagement? How should we be engaging with this new? Our brains can't cope with it, so do we have to create different rules for ourselves? We don't seem to know the rules of the game. We're still, rock isn't the most engaging game. We haven't invented paper and scissors, really, to deal with this situation. So we're getting a bit stuck in this constant information that we seem to want to get hold of. And it's having weird effects on us. We're not getting all the creative stimulus perhaps we should. We're not necessarily connecting together. There's this phenomenon, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, phubbing. Everyone know the expression phubbing? Socially snubbing someone with your phone. It happens all the time. You're talking to someone, there's a buzz, they have to look at the information, of course they do. They're programmed to. They don't seem to have learnt the rules of engagement. So we're not actually connecting that intimately with the people immediately around us. This is me. My sense of self is very strong, obviously. I had a beard, and I thought I better remove the beard. There's lots of, I'm sure you're all familiar with the apps you can use to just adjust your pictures for the sake of social media. So I made a few adjustments, and I just removed the beard, to be honest. So I've got a strong sense of self. Then there's weird stuff happening, and you look at more digitally immersed cultures than ours. Let's go to Japan, where, and I know Bernie was talking about the connection we can make with gaming characters. It's very true. So this is Love Plus in Japan, which is mostly used by 30-something-year-old men, and they have formed very strong relationships with these sort of characters, and they prefer those than actually having real relationships. Japan is going through a massive issue of population decline. Its sort of very existence will be threatened in due course by this. This is only one of the factors, but it's a factor. But we're only at the beginning of this technology. So think about technologies like embedded wearable. We all know about wearable technology. That we're beginning to take our phone and actually put it in our clothing and our items. So there's also now embeddable technology we're putting under our skin. It's used a lot in healthcare for very good reasons, to monitor, track, dispense medicine. But increasingly people will begin to embed technology into them to get faster recall. Why wouldn't you want Google Assistant in your head? You'd be the cleverest guy in the room. Ingestible technology. So increasingly it's going to be hard for us to find the off switch, because it's going to be part of us. So that's the direction we're going in. So that's why I think it's really important for us to ask some questions about what sort of culture we want to create for ourselves, for our future descendants, for our organisations and for our society. What do we want? So there's some organisations already beginning to address this and sort of thinking maybe we haven't got this quite right. So I don't know if people saw the announcement by Virgin. They're going to have a 2-hour no email moment every Wednesday, I think it is, because they recognise actually emailing isn't necessarily helping people collaborate and connect in the way they should. So it's a start, it's a little thing. Sweden is worried about our work-life balance. So they're saying they want a lot of them are seeking to move to a 6-hour working day. I guess you all work 6-hour working days. Yeah, knowing nods, yes. It's not affecting our productivity, guys. France is talking about banning work emails out of hours. It's not entirely sure what work hours are these days, but that's what they're planning to do. So they're planning to take a legislative move to do that. In China, there are quite a lot of internet starvation camps where they send children who have played too many games. And it's like military boot camp, literally. It's quite severe. And they try and get them to all go cold turkey. That's another thing you could do. You could check yourself into one of those. Or you could come on a digital detoxing adventure, of course. And that's the sort of thing that we're doing. And did you know, I mean, Ofcom came out with some research this year saying a third of UK adults have consciously taken time offline. So essentially taken a digital detox. That's 16 million people in the UK adults have done that this year. And in the period, was it the week or the month? I think it might be the month, just before the survey they did, 1 in 10 had done that. So it seems to be people, as well as organisations and maybe governments realising there could be an issue here we need to address, individuals are also addressing that. So it seems to be a growing movement, which is good. So do we take you on starvation camps if you did a digital detox adventure? No. We play games, we learn new skills, we, rather than Instagram something, we take some time to look at it and observe it and try and capture it. Remember our childhood fun, observe nature, take time to do that, which perhaps don't feel we've got the time always. And we tell stories around the campfire or around the fire. Alcohol is permitted, it's not a total detox, should be grateful here. Really try and connect. And people find they connect more with each other this way. And of course this is only a kickstart. So we also get people to write themselves, what did they discover about themselves, their relationship with technology during this time. So we get them to write a letter to themselves, which we post to them a month, 2 months, 3 months afterwards. Just to remind them, wonder if you still feel the same way. Have you gone back to your life? Have you done what you said you thought you might? So try and bring it into the daily life a bit. So just to wrap up, I thought I'd share 3 things that quite a lot of people try and put into their life. Tiny habits, which is a great way to change behaviour rather than trying to do dramatic things, that might help with your productivity, creativity, and make you feel better looking as well. So I did promise that. I don't want to let you down. There's been a big build-up for that. So this Christmas, buy yourself an alarm clock, buy your friends an alarm clock. Don't put your phone next to your bed as an alarm clock, because between midnight and 5 a.m. you will be tempted to send that email or to touch that phone, as so many people are. So and we need that downtime for our creative processes, our unconscious processes to work at problems. So if you're interrupting them in the night, that's a problem for your creativity. Get yourself a watch, that's a good one, because every time people look at the time, oh, there's an announcement, oh, there's someone's giving me a notification. Next thing you know, half an hour's gone, they've been poking around on Facebook and, damn, time's gone. And the better looking one, when you go out for a drink, maybe later tonight with your friends, rather than take selfies of yourselves, showing everyone what amazing time you're having, do phone stacks. Stack your phones in the middle of the table. First person to reach their phone buys the next round. Gamify it, and you'll have some fun doing that. And there'll be no selfies to show for your evening, but you'll have had a great time. So I think if you do those things, you'll be more productive. I hope you agree. You'll be more creative. And you'll be better looking. So, thank you very much.